like to extend my warm greetings and heartiest welcome to our chief guest, Sri S. Krishnan, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. I request him to come to the stage. Please. We are very fortunate to have our director, Professor V. Kamakoti today. I like to introduce our honorable guest, Srimati Sunita Verma, Group Coordinator, R&D, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Please, ma'am, come to the stage. Our honorable guest, Dr. Kishore Kamath, Vice President of Intel Silicon Photonics Product Division, USA. Please come to the stage. I'd like to invite our HOD, Department of Electrical Engineering, Professor Nagendra Krishnapura, to come to the stage, please. Let's put our hands together again to welcome all the delegates on the stage. I would like to request the audience to rise up for the invocation songs.
நீராறும் கடலொடுத்த நிலமடந்த கெழிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிது திக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனர் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு பிறை நுதலும் தழ்கணரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழரங்கே உன் சீரிழமை திரவியந்து செயல்மறந்து வாழ்த்துதுமே
Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam, Sufalam, Malayaj Shitalam, Sashashamalam, Mataram, Vande Mataram. Jyotsnam Pulakitayaminim Fullakusumita Drumagala Shobhinim Suhasinim Sumadura Bhashinim Sukhadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram Vande Mataram.
Thank you, our choir team. Please be seated. Now I request our Honorable Director, Professor Kamakoti, to present a flower bouquet and uttariya to our Chief Guest, Honorable Secretary, Sri S. Krishnan, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. Now I request our Chief Investigator, Professor Vijay Krishna Das, to welcome our honorable guest, Srimati Sunita Verma, with flower bouquet. Now I request Professor Nagendra Krishnapura, HOD of Electrical Engineering Department, to welcome Dr. Kishore Kamath, Vice President, Intel Silicon Photonics Product Division, USA. Now, Dr. Didanath Soni, Director of SI2 Microsystem, will welcome our esteemed Director, Professor Kamakoti, with a bouquet. Now, Professor Janaki Raman will present a flower bouquet to our HOD, Professor Nagendra Krishnapura, Head of the Department. A lamp is a symbol of knowledge. Its glow signifies enlightenment and wisdom. To start our inaugural ceremony, I invite our chief guest, Sri S. Krishnan, to light the lamp. And I also request all the dignitaries to join in this auspicious moment.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तु ते दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म दीपज्योतिर्जनार्दनः दीपज्योतिर्परब्रह्म.
Now I'll hand over to our PhD scholar Subarna to take over for rest part of the program.
Our chief investigator, Professor Bijoy Krishnadas, who is a pioneer in silicon photonics research in our country, has always dreamed big. Our Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence, Center for Programmable Photonic Integrated Circuits and Systems, is a result of his endless hard work, determination, and perseverance. I welcome Professor Bijoy to share a few words now.
So, Honorable Secretary, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India, Srimati Sunita Verma, Group Coordinator R&D, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, respected Director Professor Kamakoti, and our Dean supposed to come because of some medical emergency could not come. He made join late. So, I welcome also our head, Person Nagendra Krishnapura, Department of Electrical Engineering Department, and then our CPPICS, Distinguished CPPICS Industry Advisory Board member and VP of R&D and in Intel Silicon Photonics Product Division, Dr. Kishore Kamath, and my dear colleagues, students, research scholars, and technical staff, very good morning to you all. So today, we are assembled here to witness a proud moment for all of us, for IIT Madras and for the nation. Honorable Secretary is here to inaugurate our Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence, Center for Programmable Photonic Integrated Circuits and Systems, which is very unique in nature in India, perhaps anywhere else in the world. The proposed Center of Excellence was granted on the very last working day of 2020, the 29th December, by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India. It was in the midst of COVID-19 lockdown. The proposal concept, teaming up with various domain expert colleagues, proposal writing, submission, followed by multiple layers of defense and approval, everything happened online. Everything communicated through work from home mode and or from isolated individual office rooms. More interestingly, everything happened between 28th August 2020 and 29th December 2020. Yes, you have correctly heard. Everything happened just in 4 months. Of course, there was a man who deserves the maximum credit for it. He is none other than my favorite MIT scientist, Dr. Shankhardeep Das. I realized that he had been tracking our silicon photonics research activities at IIT Madras for years. he only convinced me to do something big for the nation and offered me to help whatever way he can. Initially, I was a little bit in a dilemma, considering he was a junior scientist, but he proves me wrong. Arranged an online meeting with his seniors and division head Dr. Sandeep Chatterjee. Both of them liked our proposal, and then everything went on smoothly just in 120 days. The objective of the Silicon Center was set multidimensional but single focus point to exploit CMOS compatible silicon photonics technology following product research development and manufacturing model. To demonstrate working prototypes targeting application areas such as programmable quantum photonic processors for computing and secure key distribution for communication systems. We have also committed for prototype demonstration of programmable microwave photonic processors for 5G and 6G applications. It needs expertise from both electronics and photonics background. Device design to circuit simulation, fabrication, testing, packaging, field trials. Our team CoE-CPPICS, comprised of dozens of co-investigators, has the luxury to take up challenges almost in every front, except packaging and field trials. Silicon photonics processor chip needs electronic driver circuits and external laser light source. It needs unique packaging challenge for system level applications. While conceptualizing the project proposal, our senior colleague Professor S. Christopher, who is a former Secretary of Department of Defense and former chairman of DRDO, Government of India, introduced me to Mr. Dinanath Soni, SI2 Microsystems, and pursued him to become an industry partner for our proposal, Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence. Nevertheless, MAITI mandate for funding such a mission mode Center of Excellence was to have solid industry partnership. I am proud to say that Mr. Soniji came forward without any hesitation and committed for the joint development of photonic chip design rule, packaging rule, and technology development indigenously for the country. As committed, he has opened up his entire IC packaging facility at SI2 Microsystems to our research scholars and research associates. 2 dedicated engineers from SI2 Microsystems have been interacting with them on day-to-day basis. We have already signed MOU with SI2 Microsystems for transfer of technology and scaling up from prototype demonstration to manufacturing line. I am extremely grateful to my esteemed colleagues who are tightly involved with our Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence while conceptualizing the project proposal, and to team up all of them, I took strategy to discuss one by one to explain how her expertise would be helpful for the center. You may find the signature of their valuable contributions in our technical digest, which will be released later by our Honorable Secretary. And then once the proposal came, the thing is to implement in the department. That time our head was Professor David Coyle Pillai, and it was like lockdown on and off, and he tremendously helped us. Any problem to set up anything, and once he understood that okay, this is required, he took up like that, this is his job. He will take up all the throughout the administration and help me giving spaces and establishing all the engineering unit supports. That was a tremendous, phenomenal. I think he is on sabbatical, he could not join today, but he said a wish for us. And then followed up by that, our head, Professor Nagendra Krishnapuram, he is also helping us equal note, and also he also helped us to get some more space for the center, and that is also under construction now. It is almost ready. And then Dean ICSR, Professor Ravindra Gettu, he was the dean that time, and when all the the other side of the MAITI, they lot of purchase constraints and everything, GT approval, all those type of things he took up along with our then director Bhaskar Ramurthy, helped us a lot, and Professor Monu Santanam, he is also current Dean ICSR, he could not join us today, but it is phenomenal that whatever the support I got from him. As you know that MAITI always they just put some bar, you just submit all the utilization certificate from IIT Madras, everywhere else, and money transferring here and there, all those type of things was happening, and we are running out of money for running the project. So our Dean ICSR actually helped us one point of time, 16 crore negative balance for the project. So later on, I think Madam Sunita Verma and Dr. Shankardeep Das, they somehow fought and got fund. Right now, it is all right. We got whatever fund required, it is given to us. So thank you very much for that. And then come to our director. So when he became he took over the director, I met him and I briefed up about the center, because that center was granted during Professor Bhaskar Ramurthy's time. And right from the beginning, he was very much keen on our center, and he advised us that to form a industry advisory board, so that we can get advice, supports, and what is the current market demand, everything. And taking his note right from there, and we formed a solid industry advisory board led by, chaired by Dr. Maulik Tatipamula from Ericsson, CTO Ericsson, and our Dr. Kishore Kamath, also one of the distinguished member of the industry advisory board. Ruby Bhatkal also here, he is also member of the advisory board. Sunny himself also is there. And those who could not come today, they also contributing every now and then. And so advisory board members from Global Foundries and also from Broadcom, all of them are there, and every 2 months they are contributing. And particularly our chairman, industry advisory board, he phone calls every day, almost every day, and asking what is happening, how to guide, all those type of things. That is phenomenal actually. And then later on also we got lot of industry collaboration because of this industry advisory board. So they actually saw our facility online itself. Some of them also visited our lab, and they convinced some of the industries like Keysight, and we have now MOU signed with the Keysight, and we will be getting some international funding probably very soon from Keysight. And we have a very tight collaboration with Silterra, and for foundry level PDK development purpose, they have a very good silicon photonics process, and they teamed up with us, and first level wafers also tested, and it is going great. And finally, and we got a very good dedicated chief technology officer, Arnav Goswami, and besides carrying out his PhD work, he is the architect of building entire labs and also leading all the research scholars together with other project staff and engineers, and also research associates, postdoctoral research associates. And our laboratory support system from CNNP, Center for Names and Nanophotonics. I consider the CPPICS is a spin-off of the center, and that lab support staff, all the technical support staff, they are also helping. And we have a dedicated support staff, administrative to technical for the CPPICS, they are working. So with this, I just thank you very much for coming here, and I could get opportunity to tell whatever going on in our center. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Das. Next, I invite our chief guest, Sri S. Krishnan, and other delegates to release the inaugural edition of the Technical Digest of our Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence, CPPICS. I request our respected head of the department, Professor Nagendra, who has been an immense support to our center, to deliver a few words.
Hello everyone. This Center for Excellence in Silicon Photonics is one of the several centers of excellence in IIT Madras. The significance of this is the following. We had electronics for about 50 years before we had integrated circuits, and it is integration that led to exponential growth in electronics that we see and we are still enjoying today. Similarly, we've had photonics in various forms for at least half a century, and now is the era of integration in photonics. There was integration at a smaller scale, but it is expected that trend will accelerate, and it's also furthered by getting integration on silicon. There has already been a lot of research into silicon because of integrated circuits, and we can leverage that research as well while integrating photonics on silicon. So it is hoped that integration of photonics will lead to a similar exponential growth. Now, if you look at the history of electronics in our country, we have been somewhat behind the international curve and we are now slowly catching up. But the significance of this center is that silicon photonics, integrated silicon photonics is still not mature anywhere in the world, and this provides us an early starter. So we will be on the leading edge of this technology. That's the significance of this center. And it's expected that the graduate students and other students who are associated with this center will go on to either research positions or maybe industry positions where they'll be at the leading edge of this exciting technology. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Our Dean ICSR, Professor Manu Santanam, could not attend the event due to some other commitments. However, he has sent a message, and I request Professor Janaki Raman to read the message for us.
So, Professor Manu Santanam has sent a message, and I quote, "It gives me immense pleasure to see the launch of the MAITI Center of Excellence on Programmable Photonic Integrated Circuits, CPPICS. IIT Madras has had a long and successful partnership with MAITI, and the CoE will be another landmark in this collaboration. The activities of the center will significantly impact the country's focus on AI and quantum computing. With its excellent faculty expertise and facilities, IIT Madras is geared to drive the research efforts in the area of silicon photonics, which is a core aspect of these domains. I wish the team in the Department of Electrical Engineering at IIT Madras all the very best in this endeavor." Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our esteemed director, Professor Kamakoti, who has been an inspiration and was instrumental in taking our center one step forward by all means. I invite Professor Kamakoti to share a few words.
Friends, Honorable Secretary Krishnan, Srinita ji, Kamat ji, Nagi. It's indeed an important step in the semiconductor journey of IIT Madras that we are starting this Center of Excellence, actually consolidating several years of work and putting it all together. As I'd been telling always to Bijoy, that we need to have industry participation, we need to have a very strong connect. And I also wish to see many of these young people be CTOs of some of these startups that are going to come out of this center. We are seeing all from waveguide to photonic, quantum photonic integration, many products that you are seeing, that you also reported in your the journal or the write-up that you have released now. I think all of this must consolidate into a product, and we need to see startups coming there, industry participating in a big way. I'm very happy that Siltra has signed up. I think the PDKs there are a lot of things that we could do with the PDKs. I think we must also develop certain very important standard essential patents. That we are now into the PDK era, now we are going to touch the PDK. I think that is also very, very important. So my expectation from this center is that at least some couple of startups coming out in the next 2-3 years on niche products, plus a bunch of very important patents that we can file. Unless we do this, we will be just again a research center, which is not the intention of this. So with this, I congratulate the team for putting this together, and I hope that all our dreams about getting out something great for our country in the area of semiconductors will be achieved, and this center will play a very important role in that direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now I request Honorable Guest Srimati Sunita Verma to say a few words about the R&D program of the center, which was funded by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, Government of India.
Respected Shri S. Krishnan Sir, Secretary METI, Professor Kamakuti, Director IT Madras, Dr. Kishore Kamath, VP R&D Intel Silicon Photonics, Professor Nagendra, and Dr. Soni from Silicon to Microsystems, all the other dignitaries here present, and the young students and all the staff and the faculty from IT Madras. Very good afternoon to all of you. Ministry of Electronics and IT has initiated the Center for Programmable Photonics, Integrated Circuits and Systems, CPPICS, at IT Madras in collaboration with industry to design and manufacture and also develop applications which are based on photonics processor chips using silicon photonics technology. This was initiated in December 2020, as already Professor Das has said, during the COVID times. The total outlay of this project is about 30 crores, and out of which METI has invested about 27 crores for 5 years, and there is also industry contribution which has come in. The center is slated to become self-sufficient in 5 years' time, and also, as Professor Kamakuti has rightly said, to commercialize some of the products which will be developed through the center, through the startups, and also train manpower to boost the ecosystem of such manufacturing. The center is collaborating with the SI2 Microsystems Bangalore for the system in package solutions for the proposed silicon photonics processor chips, which will create a commercially viable products for proposed startups under the program. More industrial participations are built to cater to the needs of the market. And I see that the advisory group that has been created to steer and guide this whole program will be one of the motivators for bringing in more industries on board and how they can collaborate and help us in taking this forward. The proposed photonics processor technology platform also will be able to cater to multiple sectors with multiple applications such as quantum computing, quantum communication, 5G and 6G communications, IoT, radars and avionics. METI is currently supporting the development of various photonics processor chip technology platforms along with the packaging technologies through its self-sufficient sustainable R&D centers which operate in PPP mode. That means that here also we are seeing that industry collaboration very tightly coupled, industry with academia with this industry, working together. And generally what we strive is applied research where industry is a equal partner or is able to mentor and guide the programs that are initiated by METI. This is for supporting the Atmanirbhar mission of the Government of India and for creating not only the IPRs but also the complete ecosystem in terms of manpower, patents, and also taking to the market all the developments right from the materials, machines, process, design, packaging and all the applications with a high degree of localization and ease of commercialization in the country. METI is also currently running 4 such centers and evolving to initiate additional 2 centers, keeping in mind the market trends, the international technology development, also the roadmap and our country's requirement. The establishment of this center at IIT Madras is the first effort from METI in this direction, and the silicon photonics is compatible with the CMOS, I'll not say the leading nodes, but the matured nodes, and it can be proved to be cost effective for Indian manufacturing of such chips. And having the close interaction with Celtera for PDKs and SI2 Microsystems, I think we are towards achieving that goal. The Center for Promotion of Additive Manufacturing is another step that we have taken, which is for optical computing chips, OCC at IIC Bangalore. And this is supporting polymer photonics using additive manufacturing technology for introducing rapid prototyping in the photonic IC fabrication for design, validation and manufacturing. So it's not just one effort that has been going on, it is creating complete ecosystem and distributed across the academic institutions, which we want to all of them to work in tandem so that we have the complete ecosystem along with the expertise. The National Center for Quantum Material Technology at CMET Pune is supporting diamond photonics. This technology is expected to have high degree of supply chain localization and hence would support resilient supply chain for the Indian manufacturing. The Center of Excellence on Additive Manufacturing, CMET Pune, is supporting the LTCC packaging technology for photonics ICs and using additive manufacturing technology for rapid prototyping and manufacturing of the photonic IC packaging. Multiple such technology platforms are also looked into, and we are looking at future roadmap also, how we can contribute and start new such programs and start right from the R&D stage and creating the pool of technologies and taking it to market with the help of industry. So it's always seen that government has some roadmap. We start with some investments, and academia comes forward to make that the technology into reality. But it is the industry which actually supports to take it to market, to give their guidance and mentorship for making it commercially viable. And I think this specific center is one where we have, I think, n number of industries participating, not only as silent partners but very actively. Yesterday I was just talking to Dr. Soni and I was so impressed, the type of involvement, and he's right sitting here, and from advisory board also, our Intel representative. So their being here in this program itself gives us the indication and a message that industry is totally with us when we are taking these initiatives forward, and I look forward to this photonics CPPIC to be a success and come out with fully commercializable products in the market, as Professor Kamogati has already, I think, set some goals for you, and also to come out with patents. It's I've seen that the academic institutions are very good at coming out with innovative technologies, but generally we go for publications. But I would request that before you go for publications, file at least a provisional patent and go forward, so that we have our own indigenous patents when we commercialize them. So I wish this success, this center all the success, and not only achieve the objectives but go beyond the objectives of this project. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. The chairman of our CPICS Industry Advisory Board, Dr. Malik Tatipamla, CTO, Ericsson at Silicon Valley, USA, could not attend this inaugural ceremony because of other engagements. However, he has sent a message about our center, and I request our Chief Technology Officer, Arnab Goswami, to read the message for us.
I am reading on behalf of Dr. Malik Tatipamla. I am delighted that the Center of Programmable Photonic Integrated Circuits and Systems has been engaged with cutting-edge technology R&D activities under the leadership of Professor Vijay Krishna Das. The progress of CoE-CPPICS has been commendable during the last couple of years, and its future R&D roadmap has been well planned, complying with the immediate needs of silicon photonics and electronics industries. As the chairman of CPPICS Industry Advisory Board, I am committed to coordinate with other board members to provide guidance to the team and support center activities following the product research development and manufacturing model. Over the past few months, center has made tremendous progress in establishing industry partnerships and MOUs with Keysight Technologies, ANSYS, Silterra, and hope to see even more industry engagements in coming months. Congratulations to the CPPICS team, as your research has and will continue to bring about great change in the world, and your recent achievements are a great testament to the spirits of inquiry and scientific discovery. On behalf of Industry Advisory Board, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank CPICS team for your dedication and contribution. It's inspiring to see all your hard work paying off, and we are excited to continue this journey with you, and best wishes to you all in future endeavors. We would like to thank our Industry Advisory Board Chairman for his constant support and throughout engagement of our center.
Thank you, Arnav. Now I request our guest, Dr. Kishore Kammat, Vice President of R&D, Silicon Photonic Product Division, Intel USA, to share a few words as one of our distinguished members of the CPICS Industry Advisory Board.
Thank you. Honorable Secretary of METI, Honorable Director of IIT Madras, and METI team, distinguished members of faculty, staff, and students of IIT, ladies and gentlemen. It's really an honor to be It's an honor to be invited to this event as a industry advisory board member. As a alumnus of this great institution, it is really, I am personally thrilled to be here for this event. I worked in this lab somewhere here. I was trying to figure out where it is. I couldn't. It's changed so much, years and years ago. So long time ago. At that time, I did my research with some of the early pioneers of fiber optics technology and fiber optics research at IIT Madras, Professor Reina, Professor Junjunwala, Professor Vaya, and many others. So it's great to see that a center of excellence for silicon photonics is coming to IIT Madras. Thank you. Secondly, I am also excited to represent Intel here at this event. Intel has an interesting connection with METI. Our Minister of State for METI, Sri Rajiv Chandrasekhar, yes, he worked at Intel for several years early in his career. So he was in a team architecting this, the popular or the groundbreaking microprocessor called Intel Pentium. During that time, one of his colleague or teammate, I guess, Pat Gelsinger, is now currently a CEO of Intel, right? And Pat is trying to turn the company into one of the semiconductor, manufacturing powerhouse, competing with the likes of TSMC. And one of the core part of Pat's vision for the company is making Intel a leader in kind of upcoming exciting new market, which is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So he has set up a what you call the task force to go and figure out where to invest and what are the technologies that we need to pursue to realize this goal. And interestingly, silicon photonics is one of them. So I'm excited about it because I'm in that area working at Intel. The reason is this: if you think about AI, right? All the AI applications and require or demand very high level of high density data management, including processing and transportation and transferability. So moving data from CPU to GPU to memory and all this interaction or all this interconnects are moving away from copper into optics because of the constraints with the copper, and optics is considered the future of that, right? And that is why silicon photonics is interesting now, because these high density interconnects can be enabled by silicon photonics, not a conventional optics, because of the integration ability to integrate optics on silicon, right? And once you are on silicon manufacturing line, silicon fabs with the level of maturity and the quality and the volume capability, this can really be a big deal for general interconnect needs for the AI. Okay, so to sum it up, basically this is the right time to make investment in silicon photonics. Okay, now the trifecta of government, academics, and industry is all participating in this center, which is kind of a very interesting, and I feel that is what is going to make this center really special. Okay, Professor Das and his team, they're being kind of a cutting edge research. They are publishing papers, and please make sure that you also file patents. Yeah, publishing papers, and these are all reputed journals and international conferences, and partnering with the industry. So I'm pretty sure this is they're in the right trajectory, and there's a bright future ahead for us. Okay. So I congratulate you guys, and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, I'd like to invite our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri S. Krishnan, to deliver the inaugural address.
Professor Kamakoti, Director of IIT Madras, Dr. Kishore Kamath, Vice President R&D in the Intel Silicon Photonics Product Division, Mr. Nagendra, Professor Nagendra Krishnapura, Head of Department of Electrical Engineering, Mrs. Sunita Verma of MAITI, my colleagues in MAITI, Professor Ashok Jhunjhunwala, Dr. Soni, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to IIT Madras by now has almost become like homecoming. I can't claim to be an alumnus or any such, but I think I've been in and out of this campus so often over the last decade or so, and seen so many facets of it that it's always a pleasure coming back. And what really impresses you most about it is the vibrancy of the place. So many things bubbling all at the same time. So much happening. And what you're struck by, and despite how diverse the student community is, how diverse the faculty is, and all of that diversity certainly helps with this quality of effervescence and the quality of so much happening in the institute at all times. So it's always a surprise to me that although in any ranking, any rating which anybody objectively makes, you always rank first, you keep wondering why the students don't rate it first, and we've often reflected on this. That has nothing to do with IIT Madras, it has everything to do with Chennai, and it has everything to do with Tamil Nadu, is the conclusion that we have often come to. And I can say that with some honesty. But I think today I'm particularly happy that in a job that I have assumed fairly recently, I had the pleasure and the privilege to be invited by Professor Bijay Krishna Das to this particular event, which has been funded by MAITI. He related in a fair amount of detail the history of how this entire center came to be created and the manner in which the whole thing was conceived. And as with all things in government, the bit of the start-stop problem that you have, that sometimes things move very rapidly and then they suddenly slow down, and some of that inexplicability of all of this. Having come right at the end of the process, at least I think we have been fairly prompt in pushing through the last stage of it fairly quickly. But I think the description he gave of that experience was very valuable. There are important lessons for us to take from that. What goes well? Clearly, we need to learn from what goes well. The efforts put in by our in-house scientists who have enabled this to happen quickly. So I'm glad that you have recognized their efforts, and I think it is very significant and important. Equally, when things don't go well or when things don't move as quickly as possible due to budgetary or other constraints or financial constraints, then some ways of streamlining this so that the activities don't suffer. I think all of this are important lessons. So today we are inaugurating yet another of Government of India and METI's initiatives in IIT Madras. So I think it's a matter of pride that one is a part of this event. Many of the efforts that METI has undertaken with IIT Madras have been huge successes, and I wish this particular venture as well huge success. Professor Nagendra pointed out what the status of the electronic state of play is and how we've missed out on previous developments in electronics, how we've been behind the curve, and possibly we are now at a contemporaneous stage. A very similar aspect was pointed out to me a few weeks ago when Professor Bhaskar Ramamurthy met me, saying that in 5G and 6G area, finally we are probably contemporaneous with what is happening in the rest of the world. So I think it's very important that we stay on target, we've caught up, and now we should attempt to leapfrog is the way that we can look at it. There have been areas where we have leapfrogged in technology, areas which we have bypassed and gone ahead of others. And there are other examples the world over, and there's no reason why we can't do it, and probably we are well poised to actually get that to happen. From that perspective, the fact that there is an insistence and there is a rigor and discipline of bringing in industry participation into this whole effort, I think is very, very significant. I would like to thank, on behalf of, looking at IIT as part of the public sector system and as part of the government system, I would like to thank the industry partners, specifically Intel and SI Microsystems, Dr. Soni, and all others who have come forward to actually participate in this effort. I think this demonstrates to you that both government and academia are now very open to looking at industry partnerships. You've also been very generous with your time, and Professor Das also pointed out the extent to which SI2 systems have laid open their facilities. And I think this kind of openness and partnership is something that will take us very far, both in terms of developing capacity and in terms of ensuring that there is a social advancement. All of us benefit from this. It is not a zero-sum game, and when we do work together, clearly there are benefits which are larger and more significant. So we would expect that the building of this partnership will result in far better results. And of course, there are many students who are present here today, and Mr. Raghutam Rao, who's a good friend and who works with the Guru Deshpande Center, keeps reminding me all the time. So, I keep saying that IIT Madras seems to have a model a research park. There are so many people who are into entrepreneurship and so many professors who I met who have been in entrepreneurship. And a couple of months ago, we were at another event here giving away awards to many of those professors. Professor Kamakoti would recollect that. The point here is that he keeps saying that no, you only meet the professors who are doing this and you don't meet the others who are not. And you keep meeting only the students who are doing this and you're not meeting the others who don't. So he even today in a session earlier this morning, he said, now, what is the kind of funding and what is the assistance you will offer to early stage entrepreneurship promotion was a question he raised all over again. This is something he has raised again and again. So to many of the students who are present here today, I think what we are encouraging, what the government encourages you to do, what a generation ahead of you, which is represented on this side of the table literally, encourages you to do, is to sort of be bolder and more courageous than many of us in terms of taking up challenges. I think societally and otherwise and economically we have changed adequately, and there are enough social safety nets available for you not to sort of go for the easiest choices, not to go for the safest choices, but to actually bet bigger, be innovative, be entrepreneurial, work with industry, be open, and take every opportunity that you can. This environment of IIT Madras is probably the finest that the nation can offer you. And as people who have got this to benefit you, there is something that you can really give back to society by being completely entrepreneurial in your spirit and trying to take it forward. So I wish all of you, as your director already mentioned, that many of you should become CTOs and many of you should take up many of these challenges. And please understand that from a generation ago, many of those boundaries have become much more permeable. It's much easier to switch from one to the other than it was a generation ago. And clearly, those are opportunities that you can take now, and those are areas that you can venture into. So I wish you all very well. These are, centers which are created primarily to have entrepreneurship grow, to have research grow, to actually transfer the research to industry. And if there is somebody who does make some profit out of it and is of an entrepreneurial bent of mind and is able to sort of make it, prosper from it, make wealth out of it, it's perfectly in order. It is something that you are expected to do and something which is you can do. As you walk around this campus, you'll see that so many of these buildings have been endowed by past alumni, and probably Dr. Kamath, not recognizing the lab he worked in, will maybe tomorrow endow a lab which he can readily recognize with his name on it. So many of your former fellow students and alumni seem to have done it all over the place. So really, I think many of you should be looking to do something like that to really succeed and go forward in life. With those few words, let me congratulate Professor Vijay Kumar Das for having pulled this whole thing off and put the center together. Undoubtedly, it is going to contribute in a niche area of technology, and it complements so much else that the government and MeitY is trying to do. Thank you very much for partnering with us there, and thank you very much for having me this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Professor Inakshi Bhattacharya over for memento distribution to our dignitaries. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Sri S. Krishnan, and other dignitaries to proceed for inaugurating our Silicon Photonics Center of Excellence by ribbon cutting and plaque opening in CSD block. Thank you, everyone.
control electronics. So everything can be co-integrated on silicon using CMOS technology.
And there will be so many processors on one board. So if we have photonics-based processors, then the power requirement will have to, because the heat generated will be much lesser.
So because of the same reason, they are investigating transceiver technology for data center. So Intel is dominating. I think 1.6 terabit per now in the market already. We are now working on 8 terabit. Yeah. Wow.
Oh, there you are.
Like we are emulating the real time situations. If it goes to the space, four probe stations are there, and even high voltage probe station for this EV batteries.
No, this is not flat writing, this is just cleaning the surface.
The liquid and everything is just pushing it on the way.
So this is something indigenously developed fiber attachment setup on and team developed. We are transferring this technology to a second microsystem. We have wire bonding system together. So that fiber attachment and the wire bonding can be joined. So Ampon has invented this some setup here. So how to bring even one fiber you can bring their fiber. Normal like a wire bonding, they have just instead of easier type or just wire, one wire you can bring, same between, and you can stick just like a wire bonding you get invented for example. So this guy and I think Gautam was there. Which is finding a building soon. So we are finding something. So that's yeah, almost 50 students working. They are almost 24 hours.